Hello friends, thank you for joining this video. Uh, Today we'll try to understand what is median. So in school we have learned the statistics in a not a very great way. So today we'll try to understand that in the most non-mathematical way possible, in the most fun way possible. Uh, so let's just take one example where you and your group of friends go out to a restaurant eating vada pav, and 10 of your friends sit on a table and they start discussing the salaries, right? And everyone starts posting their own salary and tells everyone that, okay, this is my number. And someone is making 15,000, someone is making 17,000, someone is making 16,000. So the average salary for the entire table, if you want to calculate the average salary, the group of friends, 10 group of friends have the average salary of 16,670 rupees, right? Um, Makes sense, fair, right? It's quite relatable since most of the folks are in that range. So that number makes sense. But let's say hypothetically, one of your friends walks out and Bill Gates comes in and sits on your table, right? And he starts eating vada pav with you. Uh, Now imagine his salary is 100 billion rupees, right? So if now I want to calculate the average salary of this entire table. The average salary for this entire table is now 10 billion, which is not representing the population of 9 out of 10 people. 9 out of 10 people are actually making between 15 to 20,000 rupees of salary. But because this number gets calculated in sum of everyone's salary and divided by total number of people, the average formula is sum of everyone's salary divided by number of people. And because one of the salary is so high that it is inflating this average number, right? And that's why many times you would observe that the average is not the correct representation of the data that you are looking at. And that's why there is another concept which comes to your rescue and gives you a good picture of your distribution is median. Okay. So now let's try to understand how median is calculated. Okay. So what we do in median is that we take everyone's salary, right? So these are the 10 folks who are making salary. Here is Bill Gates' salary. And now what we'll do is that we'll sort this in the ascending order. Now, once we have sorted in ascending order, what we do is that the step three is that if the number of observation, right, I mean number of people or number of observations here are odd, then we pick the middle value. So in this situation, because the number of observations are even, we pick average of middle two values. So my middle two values are here uh, 16,000 and 16,200, right? So my salary is between 16,000 and 16,000. So these are the two middle values, and the average comes to 16,100, right? So average of middle two values, these are my middle two values, average is 16,100. And that is, my friends, how median is calculated. What it does is that it takes your distribution, sorts it in the ascending order, and then picks the middle value so that it tells you that 50% of your population is making lesser than the amount of median. 50% of your population is making more than the median value, right? So that's how median is calculated. And now let's see how the numbers look. And if you go back and we can see that the median salary is now 16,100. Now let's say one of your friend hits a jackpot or gets a promotion and he makes 1 lakh rupees or huge number, right? So let's say he makes again a good number. Even in that situation, the median won't change because the 80% of the population still represents this number. Although average is still misleading, but median is quite still showing what the real distribution looks like. And that's why, my friends, median is actually helpful to understand when there are outliers. So in the world of statistics, whenever a number that comes into your distribution, which is way far from other numbers, we call it as outlier. And average is very sensitive to outliers. It changes when the outlier comes into picture. And that's why we always rely on median to understand the distribution of our data. And that's why, my friends, understanding median becomes so much important. And if you go back and see some of the average salaries posted by big institutions, uh, they try to make sure that they post average salary and median salary, because sometimes one guy's salary could be inflating everyone's salary numbers, right? So that's why looking at median is very important. Same goes for age, same goes for height. Whenever you are looking at an average, try to also understand median and try to calculate median as well for that distribution, and you would actually see the real story over. Okay, so that's why uh, understanding median becomes so important. Otherwise, if I go back and say my average salary for this entire 10 bunch of people is 10 billion, everyone would assume that everyone is rich, which is not the true case, right? So it's just one guy which is inflating the everyone's salary. And that's why always try to see average and median both, so that you understand it really well. Thank you very much for watching this. I'll see you soon.